Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, when IT is expected to fix all problems. No wonder there's no free space. Third-party app interacts with your system, so you should know how to fix third-party app. The one-button DNS killer. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. When IT is expected to fix all problems. So, I'm new at this, but has been thinking about sharing this experience for quite a while, so here goes. All of this takes place somewhere around 2010 to 2011, and thus, the conversations are as I recall them, and even more friendly than they were at the time. I was a systems administrator at a company with 350 to 400 employees. We were 4 admins handling everything including servers, applications, clients, and network maintenance. Now, since we were 4 and did not have a dedicated supporter, we took turns on checking the help desk and answering the support phone. Part of the support duties were to deliver and help new employees with their computers when they started. Now, this will be important later. We were located in a new building at the time. The building was built with 2 floors and 4 big open floor offices. The offices had flexible floors, where we could move power outlets and network ports around when needed. This also meant that all cables from workstations went into the floor, including power outlets. In this story, the main characters are as follows. $Me equals well, me $tech equals out building maintenance guy $Karen equals well, does she need any further introduction? Oh boy, do I have many stories about her, doing all sorts of weird stuff. $FM equals friendly manager. So, this is in the beginning of the month, and we had hired a new employee. This employee was located in the open floor office just opposite Karen's office, only separated by a hallway and a glass door, which I suspect is how Karen spotted me. I'm helping the new employee getting set up with all the different applications when I hear the classic hum. As I turn around, Karen is standing behind me. Me, oh, hi Karen, something wrong? Karen, my computer isn't working, and I have some really important work to do. Can you please come fix it? Me to the new employee. You should be set up now. I will come by later and verify that everything runs. So, I get up and move to the office where Karen is located, and first thing I notice is that all monitors are dark, so fairly easy troubleshooting, since the power is clearly gone. Me, Karen, the power is gone in this section of the building. This is not an error on your computer and not anything that I can fix. But I can help you call $Tech and ask him to look at the circuit breaker. Karen, no. You guys are responsible for the computers, and my computer is not working. I need this fixed. We are losing money for every minute where I can't work. Now, at this time I had been in the company for 2 to 3 years, so I knew Karen, and how easy she would panic. I still didn't expect her brain to fail this much anyway. Back to the story. Me calling Tech. Hi Tech, we have lost power in the office where Karen is located, can you help out? 5 minutes later, Tech arrives, and we both start to look through this huge wall with circuit breakers to find the one that is blown. I'm helping for a few minutes before I decide to go back to my office and let the others know what's happening and asks that they should cover the phone for me, then heading back to Tech, who had now found the fuse. However, when turning it on, it blows immediately again, so now Tech starts his magic troubleshooting while I head back to my office. Almost at the second I get back, the doors are opened and inside the room enters $FM. $FM to Me, hi Me, what is wrong with Karen's PC? She is running through all the managers' offices and tells them that her PC isn't working, and that you are refusing to fix it, and that she can't do her job. I tell $FM what is going on, and since he knows Karen, he simply shakes his head and go back to work. Now, the next 10 minutes are spent on all different department managers heading down to me, all wondering about why I'm refusing to help Karen. I know all of them, and they know Karen, so the explanation part is pretty simple. Meanwhile, I'm going up to check on Tech, planning to warn him on what Karen is doing. So, I move up to Karen's office, and as I enters I can hear Tech laughing. When he notices I'm there, he points underneath Karen's table, so I go over to check. And guess what? Turns out that the outlets, in the floor, remember, was soaking wet. Karen herself had managed to empty her entire water carafe out on the table, I guess by accident. The water then went from the table and right down to the outlets, killing the power in the office where she was located. So, as the pity person I am, I let Tech deal with that part, and went around to all the managers who went to me earlier, offering them the missing insight of the story that Karen had forgotten to tell them about. To this day, I still haven't found out why she reacted like she did. She wasn't stupid, and should have connected the dots when she spilled her water at the same time as the power went off, so to run around advertising for her mistake to all the managers just seems like a really bad plan to me. No wonder there's no free space. I've been working for this company for about 2 months now, and let me tell you, I've seen a bit and heard a lot, but this case was special. One day I received a very typical ticket. User is complaining about lack of free memory on his company laptop. He is working for a major bank in my country, and he is also somewhere higher up in the corpo food chain. Such people receive over 100 mails per day, and that usually sucks up half of their workday emailing. So I'm not surprised he might be running low on space on his laptop. The usual way is to first talk to the client, then check what is actually happening with the workstation. This time around I was a bit too lazy and ignored the first step, promising myself to give him a call afterwards. So I find him in our Manage Engine software database, find the laptop his complaints were about, and start a standard manual check on what's taking up place on his hard drive. And let me tell you, I just simply couldn't wrap my head around what I found. As a side note, he had a 250 GB M.2 drive, which after formatting, installing Windows 10, and all the standard drivers, left him with about 200 GB of space to use. This guy had on his hard drive, Windows 10, all the standard drivers, a bit of company software, iTunes, an old encrypting program, outdated due to the company switching to BitLocker, a couple of videos, couple gigs of music and Call of Duty WW2. I quickly went on Steam and checked how much this game takes up when installed and updated. It was around 100 gigabytes. That would mean half of the user available space on his laptop was taken up by a single game. We had a very strict policy about software licenses and installing games. For short, games are prohibited to be installed on a company laptop. No exceptions. Mind you, he downloaded the game about 3 days before the ticket was assigned to me. And the game was taking up half of the user available space on the hard drive. And the guy was told to be an absolute jerk. I immediately explained to my mentor what the situation was and asked him what should I do. As a newbie, I was allowed to ask him even stupid questions. He gave me a blank stare for about 10 seconds, trying to comprehend what he just heard. Then he turned his head away and started, slowly but steadily, cracking up. After about a minute he was laughing so hard, he would be heard outside the room. When he finally wiped his tears of laughter away, he told me to report the guy to his technical supervisor and ask him the same question. The reply came in literally 15 minutes later. It was something along the lines of "Thank you for your vigilance, we're solving the matter currently. For your information, there is no need to change the hard drive to a bigger one, the initial request." We have a bit of a tradition of shaming the dumbest tickets we receive by printing them and anonymizing, then pinning them to a pin board on one of the walls. This one got printed and I got the right to paint a crown with an eye in it, Crown of Idiots. And let me tell you, all other prints got moved to the side, with this one taking the middle spot. We don't know what happens to the client. He was that type of guy who would complain about the silliest BS weekly. We never received another ticket from him, so either he was fired, or told to not bother us with irrelevant cases. Third-party app interacts with your system, so you should know how to fix third-party app. I just wanted this out of my head, as fresh and just in a ranting/annoyed mood. This story is a recent call that broke this support's patience. I am also purposely vague. Background: I work in finance/risk management, and we operate on a queue system for when vendors would need approvals and reviews on certain risks. Vendors would enter all the data needed for us to review into our company website. There is also a separate phone queue for vendors who need assistance with using our website, as well as plenty of guides and videos, as well as our risk appetite. Lately, some vendors have started using some sort of integration software that enables them to send the info to multiple markets, including ours, to minimize the number of submissions needed for one specific risk. This is understandable. However, this integration software is not my company's, and we also have been running issues with people using them, as the data being integrated is at times wrong, or causing errors that is not due to our website, but due to the integration software. I also used to be on the assistance side, and am able to troubleshoot and fix most issues, as some vendors end up calling the risk phone queue. So instead of just transferring the caller around, I would just get the call done there whenever possible. Vendor V. Hi, I'm having issues with being able to send risk details to your site. I recently changed branches. Me, am alright, what's stopping you from sending in the data? V. It keeps saying credentials are wrong, something about a code. Are you able to provide me with my code? M. I can, however, those codes should be given by your branch, as there are multiple codes, and I can't tell you which one to use, since those are up to your branch. I'm thinking vendor codes. V. That's fine. M. Accesses the assistant side, obtains and searches based on V's branch and address. I have 10 results, are you sure you want them all? V. No, look, all I want is to be able to integrate the info I have from this third-party software into your website. M. Finally dawns on me, sorry, but are you able to log in directly to the website? V. Yes. M. Are you able to click new submission on the website? V. Yes, but that's not what I want. What I want is to be able to use this software. M. I get that, however, that software is not ours. You have to contact that company or ask your manager to see if I get cut off. V. No, I don't, I just want to get this done. It's your website, so you should be able to give me access. I just want this software to integrate all the work I've done into your site. I don't want to waste my time entering into your website. How is that so hard? M. Again, I get it, however, like I said, that software is not ours. We don't have access to change your logins. You will have to either call the company or admin or your manager. V. You're not helpful at all, I'm just going to find another way or not send this into you. M. Sure. V hangs up as I say good luck. I swear, some people, ugh. The one-button DNS killer. Longtime lurker, first TFTS post. A few years ago at a previous gig I was the senior system engineer. That is to say, I was lord and master of a privately held, multi-thousand mailbox, billion-dollar company's Active Directory, Exchange server and Barracuda spam filters. This is the story of when everything came to a grinding halt thanks to one web developer with access to network solutions. About a month prior to the incident, we'd completed a DNS migration, moving the company's primary domain's DNS hosting back to Network Solutions, where it was registered from a 3-letter ISP's hosting account. The characters. VM me. WebDev, the WebDev team lead. Boss, my boss, the systems team supervisor. Grandboss, infrastructure director, $boss and WebDev directly report. Minion, the junior admin on my team. I'm in my office tending to the newly built Exchange servers on the Greenfield AD. It was built in a hurry, that's another tale, when $boss darkens my door. Boss, hey VM, nobody from $main_domain is getting mail. I check the usual suspects, Exchange is behaving, Barracuda is happily sending messages to the Exchange server. Nothing appears amiss on the surface, but there are no messages in the log to the main domain in the last hour or so. Strange. Mstolbox check, no MX record found. Me, boss, something just happened to our DNS. Blood pressure in the office spikes as I check Network Solutions. The web dev guy had always had the password because politics. He knew enough to leave alone the records that weren't his. The zone file for $main_domain was empty. Knowing the password was shared and weak, I immediately play the breach card and Grandboss gets involved. What happened? How, etc. are all tossed around and Minion immediately jumps on the phone to NS to figure out what the actual frell happened. WebDev finally arrives in the office and is hauled over in by his ears. Grandboss, DNS is down, what did you do? WebDev, when I was at HQ, I just updated our DNS to add a new server for marketing. Me, what exactly did you do? WebDev steps me through the process with one of the bazillions of dummy domains in our NS account. In one of their interstitial not quite ads between pages that do stuff was an inviting green button to turn on advanced domain hosting or some such, the exact wording escapes me, it was big, inviting, and WebDev did not know to not push the big friendly green button. Doing so, we found out the hard way, obliterated the hosted zone file with no prompting, no confirmations, just Gonna. Me to Grandboss, well, we figured out what WebDev did. NS has a kill your domain zone file button. Grandboss, great. Can you fix it? Luckily, I still had a text dump of the hand-migrated zone file from a few weeks back. Me, sure do, it'll take a bit. Grandboss, do it. And change the passwords. Grandboss gives WebDev a glare that could vaporize a small moon, and I set about fixing DNS. And WebDev? We eventually migrated domain hosting over to DNS Made Easy, and changed all the passwords at NS. If he wanted to change to external DNS, he had to go through systems. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.